A total of 103.4 million euros is made available to the Republic of Croatia in the period from 2014 to 2021 through financial mechanisms of European Economic Area and Kingdom of Norway. The mechanisms aim to contribute to the reduction of social and economic inequalities in Europe and to strengthen bilateral cooperation between donor countries and beneficiary countries of financial mechanisms. Local Development and Poverty Reduction is a program managed by the Ministry of Regional Development and EU funds in cooperation with the Norwegian Centre for International Cooperation and Education as a donor partner. The program strengthens primary education with an emphasis on STEM and the areas of information and communication technologies, entrepreneurship, inclusive education, and active citizens. Special attention will be given to less developed areas and the inclusion of students from vulnerable groups as well as gifted children in projects. Projects under the program are fully funded by financial mechanisms and the state budget. We invite educational institutions and local and regional government units to participate in competitions and contribute with their ideas to the development of a green, competitive and inclusive Europe. For more details, see www.eeagrants.hr.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear participants, I would like to welcome you to the matchmaking event for the program Local Development and Poverty Reduction. On behalf of the Ministry of the Regional Development and EU funds, and as the program operator for this program, I would like to welcome you. Also, I would like to invite you for everybody to open their videos so we can see the pictures of you, and we'll take a screenshot for the purposes of the link and the news on our website, official website, to see how many of you are here presented on this event. So please just open your videos to see everybody. Thank you very much in advance. Okay, thank you very much. So my name is Luka Kevešević. I'm head of department within the ministry, within the program operator structure. Beside myself, together with me, your host today will be Miss Ivona Martinuš, who is also head of department within the program operator, and Miss Jelena Franotović, a senior advisor in the ministry. Together with your host today, there are also other employees of the ministry that are implemented the program Local Development and Poverty Reduction. As you're probably familiar, this program is financed from the EEA grants and Norwegian financial mechanisms for the period 2014 to 2021 for the Republic of Croatia, and the overall value of the program is 30.5 million euros. Today in this matchmaking event, we have more than 85 participants, out of which 65 is from Croatia, and we have representatives here from the primary schools in Croatia, universities, local and regional government units, and also we have more than 20 participants from Norway that are also representatives of the education institutions such as Norwegian science centers, higher education institutions, and primary schools. Before we start, a short presentation of the call for proposals, both of them that are now available. I invite the representative of the DIKU, Norwegian Agency for International Cooperation and Quality Enhancement in Higher Education. I invite Ms. Margun Instefjord to give us few opening words regarding this matchmaking event. Please, Margun.
Thank you, Luka. Dear all, I'm so happy that you all have taken the time to learn about the possibilities the two calls under the Croatian Local Development and Poverty Reduction Program represent. We are so happy to see such a great interest in these calls, and not only from Croatia, but also from the Norwegian side. So my name is Margunn Instefjord, and I'm the program coordinator for the EA Norway grants at DIKU, the agency with the long name, the Norwegian Agency for International Cooperation and Quality Enhancement in Higher Education. We are the donor program partner for the Croatian program, as enhanced education and training is the core element of this program, even though it's in a context of local development. As you know, the grants have two main goals: to contribute to a more equal Europe, both socially and economically, and to strengthen the relations between Iceland, Liechtenstein and Norway and the 15 European beneficiary countries included in the grants, of which Croatia is the youngest. We have thus been working alongside our Croatian counterparts in the development of the program and in the preparation of this event as well. The Croatian program has chosen a highly relevant direction: the improvement of STEM skills and competencies of teachers and students, including the establishment of regional science centers. This is something which also is of strategic importance for the Norwegian school sector, and we believe this is an area where Norway has relevant competence to offer. On the Norwegian side, we have identified our regional science centers, school laboratories in science, teacher education and other academic communities with STEM expertise in higher education. And last but not least, STEM schools and municipalities as the most relevant partners. We would, of course, have liked to mobilize the schools and municipalities in bigger numbers for this event, but both hope and expect that this is more due to bad timing and not lack of interest. We will certainly make every effort to facilitate the engagement of these as well following this event. The main aim of this event is to make sure that interested and motivated partners from both Croatia and Norway can get a clear picture of what possibilities calls represent, what are the requirements for the project applications, and that you hopefully are able to identify relevant partners. It is our hope that you will all actively join the discussions and share your ideas, expectations and thoughts in the classrooms later. And we strongly encourage you to establish contact with potential counterparts and future partners as soon as possible after today, and continue the discussions directly with them. As the Norwegian summer holidays are fast approaching, we and you do not have much time. We advise you to move fast. Both the Croatian program operator and we are here to support you and are of course available if you need any further guidance or help in this process. That also includes further assistance in identifying the appropriate partner if you don't succeed finding the best match today. We will also try to share whatever advice we might have for you in this process later in the discussion groups. After what I understand, some of you have quite a lot of experience with international cooperation and some not at all. Experience tells us that there will be some challenges to overcome, be it cultural differences, differences in communication and interaction, or perhaps other issues. Our main advice to you would be to take into consideration the interest of your partner, make sure to clarify each other's expectations early on, and make sure both partners benefit from the partnership. We strongly believe this is the best recipe for a good and sustainable cooperation. So then I will not take more of your time. We are very much looking forward to getting down to business, and our hope is that it will lead to many good projects. Thank you.
Thank you, Margunn. Thank you very much for your kind words. And now I would like to invite the representative of the Ministry of the Regional Development and EU Funds, Ms. Natalia Lastro, who is the head of the sector within the Ministry, to give us a few words on the opening of this event.
Thank you, Luca. Good morning. My name is Natalia Lastro. It is my pleasure to welcome you all in the name of the Ministry of Regional Development and EU Funds. Welcome to Matchmaking event. Also, I would like to extend my warmest welcome to Norwegian Ambassador to the Republic of Croatia, Mr. Bleckenborg, and his colleagues, our donor partners, DIKU, representatives from Financial Mechanism Office and Iceland, all participants and colleagues from my own ministry. We came to get together today to kick off the process of finding a project partner from our potential applicants in donor states, and we do hope that this event will be a good starting point for the future establishment of partnership. As some of you know, the overall objective of EAA financial mechanism for this perspective are to contribute to the reduction of economic and social disparities in European Economic Area and to strengthen bilateral relations between the donor states and beneficiary states through financial contribution in the set priority sectors, one of which is local development and poverty reduction program. Bilateral partnership is of the highest importance for both donor states and beneficiary states, in this case Croatia, since it contributes to the goals of the calls and respectively to the strengthening of social economic cohesion. It is important to understand that overall goal of the bilateral partnership are enhanced cooperation and improved mutual knowledge and understanding between donor and beneficiary entities, meaning that both sides should benefit from it, from the established partnership. Focus is exchanging relevant experiences, knowledge, and best practices between donor and beneficiary entities. Both promoters and partners should actively be involved in planning and organizing the project activities. We do hope that finally established partnership will enable access to knowledge, experience, and best practices for all parties, and that will enable new connection, intensive exchanges, and strong converged interest for collaboration, which will lead to satisfaction all of participants, and as the final goal will contribute to the improvement of STEM education. Finally, allow me to wish to everyone successful partner search. We look forward to the new future meetings to mark the concrete and visible results of the developed bilateral cooperation within the project, which will be funded from this program. Thank you very much for your attention, and I wish to you all successful matchmaking event.
Thank you, Natalia, very much for your kind words. I see clapping hands from Margun. That's a good start. Thank you, Margun. And now I would like to invite a representative of the Embassy of the Kingdom of Norway, His Excellency, Mr. Blankenborg, to welcome you all and to give us a few remarks regarding this matchmaking event.
Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone. I will be brief, as my intervention is maybe the least important today. The Local Development and Poverty Reduction Program is maybe the most ambitious program under the EEA funds in Croatia. It is also one of the most complex programs, if not the most complex. But I will leave it to you, the competent parties, to sort this out to make the program a success. This means, first and foremost, our friends in the Ministry of Regional Development and EU funds here in Zagreb, and the DIKU, the Norwegian Agency for International Cooperation and Quality Enhancement in Higher Education in Norway. None of you have chosen the easiest or the shortest name of your institutions, but the cooperation we have had so far with you, the contacts we have had, shows that it's highly competent institutions. Even more important from now on is the matchmaking, and you all participants and partners from the education system on the local level who are going to discuss the future cooperation today. As it has been indicated from previous speakers, of course, we should all wish that we had more time to prepare this matchmaking. There are several reasons for not having that. First of all is that there are certain schedules we have to adhere to when it comes to the funds. Secondly, summer holidays in Norway and Croatia doesn't really correspond, and that's the reason why there are scores of Norwegian tourists along the Croatian coast normally when there are no summer holiday in Croatia. It means summer holiday starts earlier in Norway and you enter into the holiday when Norway is back in a job. So that's something we have to coordinate across Europe. I just switched from an opening conference on another EEA-funded conference on good governance in wider Southeast Europe. And I'm glad that all partners and stakeholders in this program share the ambition to make also this program a kind of state-of-the-art performance when it comes to good governance in the time to come. It is said that a country's intangible capital is what makes the difference between the countries. An intangible capital is being composed of human and natural capital, institutional capital, and social capital. Through this program, we shall develop the intangible capital of some of the less developed areas in this country, in Croatia, with a special focus on pupils with special educational needs, hence the local aspect of the program. To achieve this, you who are the most competent ones will share knowledge and competence and experiences. And this program is only one component in our efforts to strengthen bonds between our countries in the north and the countries in the south, between Croatia and our countries, but first and foremost between institutions and between individuals. I'm of course happy to see representatives from all our two countries in this conference hall, but I'm looking more forward to see you sitting in the same room, also physically, sharing experience and knowledge. So I wish you all success in this today's conference and in the future cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you very much for your kind words. Since one of the main goals of the program is to develop the bilateral component and to establish the long-term partnerships together with our partners from the embassy and from DICU, Ministry has organized this matchmaking event with the main focus to share ideas on your projects regarding two call for proposals that are currently open, and to establish partnerships between Croatian organizations, such as applicants and partners, and with organizations from the donor states. For this purpose, we have prepared 3 virtual rooms today. First room is designed for the first call, called Improve Skills and Competences of Teachers and Other Educational Workers in Primary Education. Second room is designed for component A of the call, Strengthening STEM Skills in Primary Schools and Development of Regional Science Centers for STEM Education in Primary Schools. And the third room is designed for the component B of the mentioned call, that is for the development of Regional Science Centers for STEM Education. Within each of these rooms, participants will present their projects and their ideas, and will be followed by the further discussion and exchange of ideas. Within all of 3 virtual rooms, there will be representative of the program operators, of the ministry, and also from the DICU, which is the main project partner for this program, local development and poverty reduction. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your attention. Now we will start a short presentation of up to 15 minutes of the calls that are now available, and that will be the scope of our today's matchmaking event. Okay, the presentation will now be loaded. Just a few seconds. Okay, I hope everybody see the presentation. Okay, on the beginning we have a few words about the program, local development and poverty reduction. I will now just say program, but you know this is the program that we are making through the matchmaking event today. So the program and the main goal is to contribute to the general objectives of the EEA grants for from the 2014 to 2021, and to the reduction of economic and social disparities in the European Economic Area. Also, as already mentioned, it is mentioned to strengthen the bilateral relations between the donor states. And the donor states in this program are Iceland, Liechtenstein, and Norway. And the beneficiary state in this is the Republic of Croatia. So the program aims to strengthen the social and economic cohesion with a strong emphasis on strengthening support to equal opportunities, with the main focus on the primary school education, and to develop skill and competence that can be tomorrow used on the labor market. This includes measures in the natural sciences, in the information and communication technology, mentioned as the ICT, entrepreneurship, and also active citizenship. As already mentioned, the program operator here is the Ministry of Regional Development and the EU funds, and the budget of the program is 30.5 million euros. Program is financed 85% from the EEA grants and financial mechanisms, Norway financial mechanisms, and 15% from the state budget. The first call for proposals is the, let's say, the bigger one. From the that was opened on the 29th of April this year. It's called the Strengthening STEM Skills in Primary Schools and Development of Regional Science Centers for STEM Education in Primary Schools. So it's important to emphasize the deadlines for submission of project proposals. We have component A from the up to the deadline is 28th of July, and component B is 27th of August this year. The available amount is pretty big, up to 22.2 million euros, and here you can see who is financing in what amount of the program. So the focus of this call is to improve Croatian primary education capacities in STEM teaching and STEM skills, both teachers and educational staff, but also pupils in primary schools. So the objective of this call is to support improvement of STEM skills overall, and also as specific objective, it is to not only to improve STEM skills of teachers and pupils, but also to modernize the infrastructure and procurement of all of the equipment that is necessary for the STEM activities in your schools and in future regional science centers. Within this goal, we have two components. The first component is made to develop STEM skills through equipping school classrooms with the STEM equipment. And the B component is to establish the regional science centers for STEM education in primary schools. So when you will be preparing your grant application, please know that you should target only one of the component within your grant application. So here are some general provisions of the call. We have minimum and maximum amount of the grant that can be awarded to the individual project. So within component A, that is for the equipment of STEM of schools for STEM classrooms. Component A, so the minimum amount is 200,000 euros, and the maximum amount is 100 million euros, while the component B is much bigger for the development of regional science centers from 1 million euros to up to 3 million euros. When you will be preparing your project proposal, you will make amounts in Croatian kunas, but this is the amount that is provided by the program. And very good news is that the call can cover up to 100% of eligible cost of the project. So you are not obliged to have your own funds. You can, but you're not obliged to have your own funds within the mentioned amounts. The project duration within this call can be from minimum 12 months to maximum 21 months. Most of the activities should be and shall be implemented in the Republic of Croatia, but you can have some of the activities regarding bilateral component, bilateral cooperation, and then those activities can be implemented on the territory of the donor states, as we already mentioned, that is Iceland, Norway, and Liechtenstein. Regarding eligible applicants and partners, eligible applicants are primary schools that are established under the Education Act in the Republic of Croatia. Also, there are local and regional government units in Republic of Croatia, and legal persons as founders or owners of the primary schools in the Republic of Croatia. Also, the eligible partners are very broad, so almost everybody can be a partner. As the definition said, any public or private entity, commercial or non-commercial, as well as non-governmental organizations, so NGO, established as a legal person, that is important, as a legal person in Norway, Iceland, Liechtenstein, or in Croatia, of course. The applicant and partners from Croatia must be, of course, registered in Croatia, or in the case of the donor project partner, must be registered in one of the donor states and must be registered for at least 1 year prior to the date of the submission of your project proposal. So the deadlines that I already mentioned before, from the end of July and end of August. Also, regarding the eligible activities, you probably already saw the call, but just to make a short notice, the eligible activities are, of course, capacity building for teachers, educational workers in the STEM field. Also, the development of STEM skills for pupils in primary schools, and both of those activities are mandatory under both of these component A and component B. Also, we have eligible activity, of course, is to establish regional science centers for primary education. And additional eligible activities are modernization of space, procurement of STEM equipment for schools, also renovation, adaptation, and reconstruction and equipment of the premises regarding the regional science centers, training activities for teachers and other educational schools, development of learning models, practical work for teaching, and all other educational activities, primary in STEM education, but also complementary, and you can also make mix with ICT, entrepreneurship, and active citizenship activities. And those are eligible under both components. Also, there is the activity of development and implementation of education program and extracurricular activities. And of course, as in all projects, project management, administration, and very important also, last but not least, as said, information and visibility activities that are mandatory for both activities and for both components. So in short, this is the component A and B of the call that is mentioned for the, we say it's call 2, that was firstly published. And now we have one more call that is like a small grant, that is called a small grant scheme, improve skills and competences of teachers and other educational workers in primary education. So the call was published on the 3rd of May 2021, and the deadline for submission of your project proposals is on the 2nd of August 2021. Also, the focus of this call is to give improvement of skills and competences to teachers and other educational workers, and in the priority thematic areas, STEM education, ICT, entrepreneurship, and active citizenship. Also, as the general objective is to support teachers and primary education, the purpose is to develop a long-term development of skills that are needed for the labor market, and later to provide pupils with equal opportunities for primary education, and later to becoming active and responsible citizens and to successfully integrate into the labor market. So the specific objective of this call is to encouragement and promotion of teaching skills, competences in STEM, information, ICT, entrepreneurship, and active citizenship, and of course to strengthen the institutional cooperation in sharing knowledge and good practices, not only in Croatia but also in the with the organizations from, of course, from the donor countries to successfully adapt to the challenges of today's and future education. Available amount for this call is 1.2 million euros, and as previous call, it is also financed from the EEA grants on the 85% and state budget of the Republic of Croatia up to 15%. Also, as in the first call, you are not obliged to have your own funds. Call can cover up to 100% of eligible cost. The minimum grant that can be awarded to the individual project is 50,000 euros and maximum is 200,000 euros project duration is also from 12 months, but it's a little bit shorter to up to 18 months. Also, the location of the projects shall be implemented in Croatia, but of course, activities regarding bilateral cooperation can be implemented on the territory of the donor states. Eligible applicants and partners are very widely presented here. Those are any public or private entity, commercial or non-commercial, as well as NGO organizations established in Croatia. Regarding the eligible partners, and those are almost the same, only the NGOs can be established as a legal presence in, of course, Norway, Iceland, Liechtenstein, or of course in Croatia. Applicants and partners must be registered in Croatia or in one of the donor states for at least 1 year prior to the submission of the project proposal. That is the beginning of the August. The eligible activities are, of course, development and implementation of informal and formal education activities and programs for teachers and educational workers in the STEM, ICT, entrepreneurship, and active citizenship. Also, the development of learning and practical work and teaching models, cooperation in capacity building, such as joint program implementation, also in the area of STEM, ICT, entrepreneurship, and active citizenship in education, and project management, administration, and information and visibility activities as mandatory within this call. So this is a short overview of the calls that are now available. I would like to thank you. Here are some of the links you may have interest in EA grants in Croatia and for this program. Also, here is our email. You can contact us and that you contact already to participate in this event. So now we will have a few minutes, a short break, just to invite you to go to the classrooms that you're interested in. So just to remind, call 1 regarding the small grant scheme, it's in the room 1. Regarding the component 2A of the call, you can go to the room number 2, and if you're interested in the development of regional science centers for STEM education, please go to the room 3, and there you will have moderators from the program operator and also from the DICU, and you will have an opportunity to present your ideas in your presentations. Presentations will be very short, up to 5 to 6 minutes, and then we will of course discuss it, share ideas, have some of the opinions regarding your projects. So please, if you can go to the classrooms, so we will start there at 11:40, up to 7 minutes from now. Thank you very much.